Hello everyone. So today my book review is gonna be on Paulo Coelho. I hope I'm saying his name right. His book, The Alchemist. I have it here on my Kindle. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but okay. So that's the book cover. This is actually the 10th anniversary edition of the book. So quick history behind me reading this book. I think I had purchased it on my Kindle probably like a year and a half ago or something, and I never actually got to read it. I think I started like the first page or something, and then quickly dropped off because I was reading like 5 other books at the time. And I never actually got back into it. So it's been a year and a half since I actually purchased the book. And the reason why I picked it up again was I was watching a interview that Pharrell Williams had with Oprah on her own network. And so Pharrell talked about how this book had a major impact on his life and how it changed his life, and that it changed how he thought and how he was in the world, and and how it affected like who he was and how his career has like been affected by it and stuff. And so that day, and that was probably like 2 weeks ago, so it's taken me 2 weeks to write this review, or give this review. I sat down that afternoon and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pull it out of my Kindle and start reading. And I think I started it around like 4 p.m. and by like 8:30 I was done, including my break. So it was one of the few books that I've read in a day, and I cannot believe that this book was sitting on my in my Kindle for the last year and a half without me actually getting to it. But as they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and I truly believe in that saying. And I truly believe in the fact that this was the time that I had to read this. There's so much stuff going on in my life, and it kind of helped me bring together my lessons that I've been learning, my spiritual lessons that I've been learning and trying to adhere to over the last like 5 years. It kind of just folded them in and kind of like built this pretty tapestry of information and of beliefs and of practices and spiritual awakening thoughts into this beautiful tapestry. So anyways, enough about that. So quick thing on the book, it is a novel, but it is loosely based on the author's journey to his spiritual awakening. And I think this came about, and he describes this in the book, in the prologue, I guess, about how he walked the 500-mile road or path. And I think I might say this wrong, but it's in northern Spain, and it's called Santiago de Compostela. And it's a 500-mile road that the pilgrims used to walk to go to this chapel to see the remains of St. James. So anyways, during that journey, I think, and he took this journey in the early 80s. That's when he had a spiritual awakening, and was able to connect with his awareness, his self-awareness, and then came about the changes and all these like books that have like just dominoed since that time. So he wrote The Alchemist in 1988, I believe. That's what the book says. Online, you get 1987, 1986. So somewhere around that time, after his journey in Spain. So that was about 1986. So he talks in this book. He basically talks about a boy's journey to find his personal legend, which is kind of like your reason for being on Earth. and so it talks about how to get to that journey. You go through life's situations and experiences that you don't necessarily think that you need or you have to go through to get there, but in the end it all makes sense and it all comes together. And along along that path that you meet different people, you help them, they help you. You read the signs. He talks a lot about omens, being your signs and your guide to what you should follow versus what you shouldn't. And there's a lot of metaphorical references. I think the whole book is metaphorical, but like you can actually single out certain events in the book and have those aha moments. And for me personally, it was all about like reading a certain part of the book and saying, whoa, this is what I learned like 2 years ago in that other book, and this is how it's building into my story as a human on earth, and how I need to use that experience or that message that I received as a boost, as help, as whatever you want to call it, throughout in my journey. So basically that's it. It's a novel, but like I said, it's loosely based on his journey, his spiritual journey, the author's spiritual journey, and it's definitely a good read. As you can tell, like I read it within a few hours, and I don't read fast, so definitely a book that you have to read at least once in your lifetime, if not 100 times. Because let me tell you, the first time I read it, I got like certain messages from it, and then a week after that, which was last week, I was like, let me pick it up again, let me look at it again, and I'm just gonna scroll through like the highlighted stuff that I had in the Kindle. And reading it again, I feel like I received more information or an even bigger aha that I didn't get the first time around. So it's definitely something that you want to read and refer back to like from time to time. But yeah, so that's it. So I hope you guys get a chance to like read it. Please do. It's available, hardcover, softcover, Kindle, wherever, regular, and then you can obviously probably get it at your local library as well. This book, I just can't stress how great this book is, and I don't want to give too much into like the actual book. I think you just have to read it. But let's just say, it made it into the Guinness World Book of Records for being the most translated book by a living author. It's been translated in over 80 languages. What else? I don't know what else I can say about it, only that you have to read it. So go ahead, grab that book and like read it, and leave me a comment, let me know how you liked it. And hopefully this either deepens your spiritual journey or awakens you to it. And I hope you have a good day, and God bless. Until next time, bye bye.